Meet Pluteus cervinus, commonly known as the deer mushroom, a widespread species from the Pluteaceae family. This elegant brown-capped mushroom appears from late spring to autumn, often growing on decaying wood as forests quietly recycle themselves. Recognizable by its smooth cap, free pink gills, and lack of a ring, it's a familiar find for foragers, but its story goes far beyond its simple appearance. Pluteus cervinus is generally regarded as an edible mushroom, though it's not considered among the top culinary species. It should always be cooked before consumption, as eating it raw may cause mild digestive discomfort in some people. Once prepared properly, it becomes safe to eat, but its culinary value is often described as moderate rather than exceptional. In terms of taste, the deer mushroom has a mild, slightly earthy flavor with subtle radish-like notes. Its texture is soft and somewhat fragile, especially in mature specimens, which makes it less firm compared to more prized edible mushrooms. In the kitchen, it can be sautéed, added to soups, or mixed into simple dishes, though it's usually not the main highlight of a meal. Because of its delicate nature, it's best used fresh and cooked gently to preserve what flavor it has. Before cooking, it should be cleaned carefully, especially if collected from decaying wood, where debris or insects may be present. A light rinse and trimming of the base are usually sufficient. While it can be dried or preserved, it's not commonly done, as the flavor does not significantly improve with drying. For most foragers, Pluteus cervinus is more of an occasional edible than a sought-after culinary treasure. Pluteus cervinus is a highly variable species, but it is most commonly recognized by its smooth brown cap and its growth on decaying wood. The cap typically measures between 4 to 10 centimeters in diameter, starting convex and gradually flattening with age, sometimes developing a low, broad central bump. Its color ranges from light tan to dark brown, often with subtle radial fibers, and it may appear silky or slightly matte depending on moisture. The stem usually ranges from 5 to 12 centimeters in length and 0.5 to 2 centimeters in thickness. It is whitish to pale beige, sometimes decorated with faint brownish fibrils, and has a firm, fibrous texture. It lacks both a ring and a vulva, which is an important feature for identification. The base can be slightly thickened, especially when attached to dense wood. Under the cap, the gills are one of the key identification features. They are free from the stem, meaning they do not attach to it, and they appear crowded to moderately crowded, with many shorter gills in between. When young, the gills are pale, almost white, but as the mushroom matures, they gradually turn pink to salmon pink, reflecting the development of spores. The spore print is a crucial diagnostic trait. It is typically pink, ranging from very pale blush or flesh pink to a deeper salmon or rosy tone. In thicker deposits, the color can appear more intense, sometimes leaning toward a warm pinkish-brown hue. This pink spore print is one of the most reliable ways to distinguish Pluteus cervinus from similar brown mushrooms that produce white or dark spores. When cut in half from top to bottom, the mushroom is solid inside, with flesh that is white to pale cream. It does not show strong color changes when exposed to air, although a slight dulling or very subtle darkening may occur over time. The cap flesh is soft, while the stem remains more fibrous and tough, especially in older specimens. There is no milky latex or distinctive staining reaction. Taken together, the combination of a smooth brown cap, free pink gills, pink spore print, wood-growing habit, and a ringless stem makes Pluteus cervinus a relatively easy mushroom to recognize once these features are understood. Pluteus cervinus is a saprobic species, meaning it feeds on decaying wood rather than forming symbiotic relationships with living trees. It is most commonly found in forests, especially in deciduous and mixed woodlands, where fallen logs, stumps, and buried would provide a steady source of nutrients. This mushroom prefers well-decomposed hardwood, but it can occasionally appear on conifer wood as well. It often grows singly or in small groups, sometimes appearing directly from logs or emerging from soil that hides buried wood beneath the surface. Unlike many soil-growing mushrooms, Pluteus cervinus is strongly tied to wood-rich environments, thriving in areas where natural decomposition is actively taking place. Damp, shaded locations with good air circulation tend to be ideal, especially after periods of rain. Geographically, Pluteus cervinus is widely distributed across Europe, North America, and parts of Asia, making it one of the more commonly encountered wood-decaying mushrooms in temperate regions. It can be found from lowland forests to higher elevations, as long as suitable deadwood is present. Overall, if you're searching for this species, focus on decaying logs, shaded woodland areas, and places rich in fallen timber. These environments offer the perfect conditions for its growth. Pluteus cervinus is a warm-season mushroom that typically fruits from late spring through autumn, taking advantage of periods when temperatures are moderate and moisture is consistently available. It often appears shortly after rainfall, especially when humid conditions follow a few warm days. For optimal growth, it prefers temperatures roughly between 15 degrees Celsius and 25 degrees Celsius, although it can tolerate slightly cooler or warmer conditions as long as moisture levels remain stable. Unlike early spring species, it does not rely on cold nights. Steady warmth combined with humidity is far more important. Moisture plays a key role in its development. Because it grows on decaying wood, it benefits from damp, well-hydrated substrates, particularly logs that have absorbed rain over time. Prolonged dry periods can delay or reduce fruiting, while consistently moist conditions encourage repeated flushes. Local conditions also make a difference. Shaded woodland areas, spots with limited direct sunlight, and places where air humidity stays relatively high, such as near streams or in dense forest cover, tend to produce more reliable growth. Even small differences in shade, airflow, and wood moisture can influence where and when it appears. Pluteus cervinus is not particularly known for its culinary excellence, but it still offers some nutritional benefits. Like many mushrooms, it contains a modest amount of protein, along with B-group vitamins that support energy metabolism. It also provides minerals such as potassium and phosphorus, which play a role in maintaining normal bodily functions. It is naturally low in fat and calories, making it a light addition to meals. While it doesn't stand out as a nutritional powerhouse, it can still contribute to a balanced diet when consumed as part of a varied intake of foods. One of the most common mistakes when identifying Pluteus cervinus is overlooking its wood-growing habit. Beginners sometimes assume it grows from soil, not realizing it is always connected to decaying wood, even if that wood is hidden underground. Another frequent error is ignoring the gill attachment. Many similar brown mushrooms have gills that are attached to the stem, while Pluteus cervinus has clearly free gills, which is a key distinguishing feature. Misinterpreting the gill color can also lead to confusion. Young specimens may have very pale gills, causing them to be mistaken for species with white spores. Waiting for maturity or checking the pink spore print is essential for confirmation. Older specimens can be trickier to identify, as the cap may fade and the gills often darken or lose their typical coloration. For the most reliable identification, it's always best to study fresh, well-developed mushrooms. And that's everything for Pluteus cervinus. If you enjoyed this video or found it helpful, consider liking and subscribing. It really supports the channel. Each forest walk brings its own story, sometimes familiar, sometimes something completely unexpected. Whatever we find next, we'll slow down, take a closer look, and explore it together.